I'm a pro basketball player overseas, and of course I've not always been a pro basketball player overseas, and then some of y'all are gonna be like, hey, duh, you know. But hear me out. There's a lot of things that I had to do in order to get to the pro basketball overseas level. If you know anything about me, if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I haven't been playing basketball for a very long time. This is my 7th year of playing basketball. There's 3 things I'm going to talk about in this video. These were the 3 things I focused on in college. When I was going from my sophomore year into my junior year of college, these were the 3 things that I focused on. I can firmly say these 3 things turned my life around, turned my game around, turned my attitude around, turned everything around for me. So I want to share these 3 things with you. Be sure to stick around to the end, because the 3rd thing I'm going to talk about is probably, in my opinion, the most important out of the 3. So you don't want to miss that, okay? What's going on, guys? Willis Mackey Jr. here, pro basketball player overseas from the Bahamas. This video is going to be a little bit informative. Without further ado, let's get into it. First thing that I say was one of the most important things I did was I focused on my weaknesses over my strengths. Some of y'all might be, well, duh, that's obvious. We always gonna work on our weaknesses over our strengths, but that's not always the case. A lot of times strengths are what make us comfortable. A lot of people are afraid to address their weaknesses. A lot of people are afraid to say, oh no, I ain't really good dribbling to the left, or I'm not really good dribbling fast paced, like let's say in a full sprint down the court without losing the ball. People don't always want to address that. A lot of people want to stay in their game so they can maximize their strengths so they can look good, which is why a lot of players can only drive one way. They might be very good going that one way, but they can only go one way because they haven't addressed their weaknesses. Let's face it, strengths make us feel good about ourselves. If I could drive right and never get stopped going right, I might be unstoppable. That made me feel good. But every time I drive left and I can't even dribble with my left hand, it's going to destroy your confidence. That was me. I'll be honest. When I was in college, I couldn't dribble basically at all. But it took for me shifting my focus to my weaknesses to understand the importance of being able to be more than one-dimensional. You gotta be 2-dimensional, you gotta be 3-dimensional. If you want to get to the higher levels, you got to be able to do everything. When somebody comes at you, you got to have a counter always. So I had to learn that kind of the hard way. I had to be uncomfortable. A lot of people are afraid to be uncomfortable, but in order to be successful, in order to improve in basketball, in life, you got to be uncomfortable. I think one of the key things that we need to do as players is really take a step back and evaluate our game. Evaluate the things that we aren't good at. I'm a very good spot-up shooter, but anytime I dribble the ball and try to shoot, I miss. So it means you need to do a little bit more of those drills. Yeah, don't neglect your strengths. Of course, I'm not saying that. Make sure that you are doubling on your weaknesses in order for you to catch up to your strengths. Working on those things destroyed me mentally. Made me feel, like I said, uncomfortable, made me feel weird, made me feel, you know, like I wasn't going anywhere, I wasn't doing anything right. But those were the most necessary things that I had to work on, and it changed my game for the better. I'm at a point now, if you've seen any picture of me online, on my Instagram, you can follow me. Yeah, W Mackey JR on Instagram. Go do that. But if you've seen any of my pictures, you will see that the ball is always in my left hand now. I'm at a point where I'm almost left hand dominant because I've worked on it so much that it's like muscle memory just will put the ball in my left hand, which is good because I know my right hand is still stronger than my left, but I have the confidence that I needed in order to use my left. But it's good to have the option there instead of only saying, well, I only could dribble right now. If they cut me off left, I don't know what to do. No, I got both sides now. That's important, and that's what you need if you want to go to the next level. And of course, that's what you need if you want to be more than one-dimensional in your game. The second point we're going to talk about, the mindset of believing that nobody's better than you. I don't want these words to get twisted. I don't want these words to get misconstrued. When I say nobody being better than you, I'm talking about your opponents. Nobody loves a cocky player. Nobody loves a outlandish player. Nobody loves an obnoxious player. We all know that. But I'll be honest, I'm a very laid back person. If anybody knows me personally, they could probably vouch for that. But I can promise you, any of my teammates know when it's time to play basketball, I am not who I am off the court. I'm very much a different person. I have this mindset that I don't care what you bring at me, I'm trying to destroy you. I think that mindset was what I needed because like I said, I haven't been playing basketball that long. That mindset takes years to develop and I still don't fully have it yet. But going into my junior year of college, so that's been 4 years now, I had to develop that mindset because I realized that I wasn't afraid of competition, but I wasn't attacking the competition every night like I should. Some nights I'll have a good night and then the other nights it'll just be like, oh, I'll just sit back and, let the game come to me. No. That entire mindset shifted. Now, every time I'm on the floor, I don't believe anybody on the other team is better than me. And I try to play that way. And it's not saying I'm always like beating my chest and like, oh yeah, no. It's not that. It's just that anytime I get the ball, if I see a good opportunity to make a good play, score, to do whatever, I take that opportunity every time because I don't care who's the defender. I'm trying to go at him with everything. That attitude came from me with training, getting the confidence I needed, training, putting in the hours, putting in the work. I was so confident with what I wanted to do that mindset kind of just came because I was like, hey, this is what I practice. This is muscle memory. I could just go with them no matter what. And it came to a point where no matter what I was doing, I was getting to my spots and making the right plays. You got to believe that the opponents are beneath you. That sounds probably crazy, but you have to believe that if you want to be on top of them. The goal of the game is to win. After the game, you can shake hands, and especially in Europe, friendly people after the game, everybody shaking hands, saying, you know, good game, all that stuff. But during the game, no, I don't want to hear that. That's the mental aspect of what I did to improve my game substantially. The third thing and the last thing I'm going to touch on is focusing on the things that most people don't really want to do. I watched a video last week from Life of Keezy on YouTube. You can check his YouTube out. He's another overseas player on YouTube, always dropping good knowledge and veteran knowledge because, hey, I'm a young player. So a lot of the things he said I listen to as well. I definitely recommend checking him out. One of the things that he talked about specifically, he was talking about getting advice from another guy who was playing overseas who told him essentially that if you want to be in the overseas market for a long time, you kind of got to do things that people don't really want to do and do them well. So in his case, he's a big, so you got to be able to set good screens. You got to be able to box out well. You got to be able to rebound. You got to be able to roll to the rim. You might have to be able to catch lobs, whatever that is. Doing those things are what you need in order to be successful. For me in college, I was literally just focusing on two things: rebounding and setting really good screens. I was a bad screen setter going into my junior year. I would set screens and roll too fast, or I would hold the screen too long. After my junior season, going into my senior year, I really focused on those two things. You'll be very surprised how open you'll be as a big man if you set a good screen. You set a good screen and roll at the right time, it's automatic buckets. Once I found that out, I started to focus a lot on setting really good screens and getting to the basket. That's important as a person in my position. I played a power forward position. So of course I'm setting a lot of screens, I'm rolling a lot, I'm probably rolling and popping a lot. A lot of players don't really set good screens. The people you know set good screens usually the big buff guys who, you know, but no, everybody can set good screens. So I focused on setting good screens and rebounding the basketball. So of course with rebounding, you gotta learn how to box out the right way. You gotta learn how to get into people's chests when it's time to box out. So I had to learn all of that kind of from scratch. And I focused on those two things, and literally it took my game to the next level. Hustling, stealing the ball, doing the dirty work. Those are the things that players don't typically want to do. They can, but they don't typically want to do. Nobody want to just jump on the floor all the time. Nobody want to always just be in the position to potentially get dunked on, because when you're going up for blocks and stuff, that's what happens. Not everybody want to do that. You be the person to do it. I was the person that learned to do that over time, and now I'm at a point where I do those things regularly. It's like muscle memory for me now. I know I've used muscle memory 100 times in this video, but you get what I'm saying. Take my advice, focus on the things that other people on your team, other people in general don't want to do. Do the dirty work. I'm telling you, especially if you're a pro basketball player overseas, do the dirty work. Do what you do very well. Everybody has a job. Do your job well. Everybody on a team has a role. Do your role well. Not everybody can be the star. Not everybody gonna be the scorer. Somebody gotta rebound. Somebody gotta get the steal. Somebody gotta block. Somebody gotta dive on the floor. If you're that guy, be that guy and do that thing well. So to wrap it up, we talked about focusing on our weaknesses. We talked about the mindset that you need to feel like nobody out there is better than you, because hey, they aren't. And the last thing we talked about is doing the things that other people don't really want to do. And I don't think if I would have focused on these three things, I would be where I am today. I'm still working my way up the ranks of overseas basketball. Of course, things come with time, but I feel like if I continue to work on these things, only good things can happen. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all found the information I'm giving very, very helpful. If you're a basketball player, if you're a young player and you're looking to go overseas, you're looking to become a pro someday, please take my words into consideration. I'm telling you, the earlier you work on these things, the better. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. I'm posting videos every Tuesday and every Friday. I'm home, I'm in the Bahamas. I am currently, you know, this is my spot. So I'm gonna be posting videos, I'm gonna be doing vlogs, I'm gonna be doing basketball videos, I'm gonna be doing reactions. Be sure to check all that out, all right? Thank you so much for coming to the channel and stopping by and rocking with me. Till the next video. Peace.